Goodbye, Emmett Cell.
Goodbye, Emmett.
I'm gonna try the bags on this. That's my best bet. That's my guess. I was wrong!
You are wrong, little beach.
Ugh.
Unless we want to use that from like the shot one.
I think, honestly, what actually happened, I think Faraday was stabbed first, and then Rel was shot by someone else. That's my idea of what's going on right now.
Same.
Because time just doesn't make sense to me. Pen, no, it was also wrong. All right, we're already on the first one. We really are on the fourth case of this game. Facts of this case. Shit. The last of his strength to counterattack. Here's the thing. She's also proclaiming that the knife belonged to... Oh, it says I believe that it brought it in as evidence, so we don't know if it was evidence for sure. Gun? No!
We're gonna die here.
I swear to God, we're already gonna lose.
Is there anything that says like he shot him? Like in her like her thing?
Died after. I'm gonna. No. All right, we're really doing it like this. Oh. All right, first. Oh, this is fun.
You saved earlier, right?
I did.
Okay.
About the statements. Mr. L used all of his remaining strength to take the knife and defend himself. One can easily say that they had a violent struggle. Of course, it's nothing great about it. Okay. Let me look at this one again. Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell before he died. Do you have any basis for this statement? Your foolishness is no end. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need. Alright, so if Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rell before being stabbed. If you're finally beginning to catch on, I say. What proves otherwise? I am... Oh, son of a bitch! It's this.
We're fucking dumb. We're fucking dumb.
I completely forgot about that piece of evidence. I'm mad. I was sitting here like, what here in this room does it? And then it's like, there's literally a piece of evidence that said there wasn't a struggle. If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused a bit of a noise. However, Detective Gumshoe testified that he heard absolutely nothing.
Huh. place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of the argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Rell get his hands on the knife?
Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It is not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rell saw a chance and took it out at some point.
So, what you're saying is this. Mr. Rell took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed?
Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? Yes, something is off.
No, it all makes sense.
No, this is clearly correct.
Oh, really?
We got it. We nailed it. It's simply not possible Mr. Faraday's being stabbed. The pen?
No, because he died instantaneously.
Oh, yeah, we said he died. Okay. Yeah, we told he died instantaneously. That's her own words. According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. I am so sorry that my brain is off today, it seems.
It's fine.
Come on, Parker, you gotta think with your brain again. Ergo, he could not possibly have fired that gun after that.
Oh, you've got me.
But of course.
Well then, if the report is correct, then there's only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Rell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rell. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then they both died. Pause on there, cat. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense. You put her paw like my computer's like power button.
Oh,
like, no!
Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Francisca.
I just wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible. Not very foolish if you propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could.
How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid, and still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Francisca, you've still got a ways to go. God, he's such a shitter.
What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic?
Died instantly, and the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in the scene. The contradiction here in the crime scene is...
The order the bodies fell, right?
Yeah. Because... Yeah. Because Rell would have fallen on top of... of the other guy. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot and Mr. Rell died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which the bodies are piled.
No!
Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rell's. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have died before Mr. Faraday.
Impossible!
Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene is now fucking...
No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth.
What now?
I simply think that you ought to think a little more outside the box. And that it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Okay. What happened? Part 2.
It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's.
Yeah, he rolled the dice, and you know what? Sometimes it just be like that. That's my statement. Fuck you.
The two bodies fell into a pipe, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. No, it kinda does.
I just know that Francisca's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. Oh, what happened? Part 2. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Wells.
Hold it! Objection!
Pressing someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad your trick only works on fools.
That wasn't my intent! I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rell.
Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could hold on for a minute?
Francisca, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours.
Oh, I'll hold on to it all right, as I whip you. Well, now that you've quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue, if you don't mind.
Two bodies fall into a pile.
Hold it!
The two fell on top of each other. Don't you find that to be just a bit strange?
Not at all.
I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart.
My eyes are truth. Once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile.
Okay.
Hold it!
What do you mean by... Oh, wait. I know what doesn't prove that. Because if they attacked each other at the same time, there would be a burn on the mark.
Yeah. I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands.
Ah, you're saying he was dual wielding.
Dual wielding.
I see.
He made to attack Mr. Rell while holding both the knife and the revolver. And then...
The revolver?
The revolver. The revolver.
I'm feeling that I'm gonna hope that's an error on the part of the translators.
After Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Bill grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. You know, as people do. That's how Mr. Bill wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top.
They wouldn't fall like that, though. That's not how that would happen.
Girl, you reaching.
That is like the reach of the set. Like you know that scene in like Space Jam where Michael Jordan stretches his arm down to get to the rim of the basketball hoop. That's what you doing.
Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got.
Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony.
I don't see any point to that, but as you please.
I already know what the contradiction is. They attacked each other at the same time from close range. Guess what, dummy? Idiot! I'm gonna send you to Twitter! So you believe they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible, God. Have they made any mention of social media in Ace Attorney? I don't think they have.
I don't think so.
God, imagine Edgeworth just being like, guess what, Phoenix? I just pwned your ass. You're going on Twitter, bitch.
He barely knows how to operate a phone. You
That
think he'd
is-
get Twitter?
That you're right. He doesn't know what a camera phone is. He wouldn't use Twitter. He would still
Absolutely not.
He probably would be like Dual Destinies. He's like, guess what, Phoenix? You should add me on Facebook.
I posted these funny minion memes I think you'd enjoy.
And also, why aren't you responding to my texts?
I've poked you like 5 times on Facebook.
Please. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rell and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 to 3 yards.
Ah!
Style it on my sister. Yes, this is the theme I need. Go on. Get her ass! There's only one possible explanation.
What a completely foolish line of foolish thoughts from a thoroughly foolish fool. If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who? The third person!
Is it?
There has to be, right? Because someone put that gun in his hands.
They're asking who was the first.
I want to say it's neither. But that's just me.
Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. Okay, you were right. Congrats. There was a third person here. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit.
Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime?
Of course. If a third person was truly here, the fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has been a setup to make the fact the gun's in his right hand. Because the gun is in his right hand. What is the piece of evidence that proves there was a third person involved? The gun's in his right hand, and the thing that proves that is his pen. Which is because he's left-handed. Apparently not.
Nope.
Is it, am I supposed to present the gun first?
Maybe?
Okay. I guess I'm jumping the gun, literally. It would appear that that was wrong. Okay. Okay. I am fucking this up royally. I am so sorry.
You're fine.
The gun. Okay, I was supposed to present the gun first. My bad.
Yeah.
These two items point to the presence of a third person.
How so?
Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. It was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Echo,
Struggle.
If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground, meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. He's saying that they just like mopped one of the bags in his blood and just threw it on the ground. Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood spatter from when they withdrew the knife.
What?
I guess that makes sense. And also, it would.
But there would be a hole in it.
No. They're saying that they essentially used it like a glove. They didn't put the knife through the bag. They just held the bag in their hand and just grabbed the knife, which makes sense. But the problem is that means we need to get fingerprints on that bag. And arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence.
Looks like we've still got a long way to go in this investigation.
Yes. Huh?
Who the fuck was that?
Oh, is it Costello? And the judge himself! What the heck's up with you, pal?
Mr. Badd, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
Oh my god, no. Not again.
Not again!
What?
What's the meaning of this? Ha! Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare. That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was a giant lie.
Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement.
I'll let his honor explain it himself.
I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. Wait.
You see, Mr. Badd? So I ask you, why are the detective here supposedly doing his job the whole time? Want to fabricate such a lie?
Which explains how he heard because the judge did hear the gunshot.
Yeah.
And if he heard the gunshot when...
What if Gumshoe was in front of the wrong, door?
was in the hall on guard duty other than a gunshot. Well, 'cause gunshots are loud, so it makes sense they would still be
I know, but
like-
isn't there, another hallway just like this one?
True.
And that's the one he was in front of, and that's why he didn't hear shit?
I don't know.
Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday?
No. Of course not, sir.
It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is that detective. Which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has come tumbling down, Miles.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
Was that statement really a lie?
Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men.
Great, this is the second time.
I swear that's gonna be the thing. He was standing in front of the wrong door. No, spit out the truth.
I haven't lied to anyone, so honest. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Detective Badd, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not?
Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy.
All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all.
You know what? I wasn't on your side, but then you brought in the word perfection, and I knew. I couldn't say no. I just couldn't say no. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Why he wasn't in the hallway?
Maybe state of hallway.
Detective Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in that hallway at any time, correct?
Of course not, pal.
You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me?
Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence.
I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point.
Miles Edgeworth, how could you be losing a battle of wits to this detective? You're a disgrace.
Maybe I should ask him something else. Okay, at least these
it's
are.
not the hallway.
At least these aren't
Yeah.
taking away life, our health bar. Why he wasn't in the hallway? Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time?
Look, pal. Like I said, I was there the whole time. Okay.
But there is testimony against you. I think we might just have to ask everything. At this
Miles
point.
Edgeworth, why are you wasting your time on a completely useless question? The only logical reason as to why he was absent during the time is he was busy committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool.
Maybe I should ask about something else. What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Motive for murder! I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime.
Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? What the fuck? His eyes are bulging out.
I don't know, man.
No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir.
Always brilliant.
Is that a fact?
That's the worst objection I've ever heard.
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not lying.
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here.
Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Because all I'm interested in is a perfect explanation.
You're serious, aren't you? Oh god, my throat. Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice.
Oh god. Going in, baby.
It was about a week ago.
Oh, she's doing the right. That's how you put on makeup. That's the face.
I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nimwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You totally misunderstood me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I can never hold a grudge.
Quiet. We can't trust anything you say.
Sure. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se, but there's something gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Misused perfect explanation may not be so perfect after all. Okay. I didn't think we'd have to do this part. About a week ago. A whole ass week ago. Okay. He wasn't a detective a week ago.
Oh.
He said he's been a detective for a week. So you're saying day one.
Day one.
Week ago. Then you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances.
No way. I only met him in person today.
Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, I've seen him around before.
Here and there, out and about. Detective gets chewed out. Okay. Mr. Faraday was upset.
Yeah. You know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally being red in the face. Damn. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the fact he's making now, right? Or the face he's making now.
I'm completely innocent, I tell you. How does this lady keep herself composed in the middle of the courtroom?
I don't know. It was quite the scene with the detective.
Alright. You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you?
Yeah. I have to say, it was really enjoyable too.
Jesus Christ.
That's when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier. I knew to do a killer of him.
No way! I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face.
But you do!
Huh? What have I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh! And those ridiculous eyebrows.
What is this lady's damage?
Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun.
Listen, Gumshoe, I understand we just met, but we gotta quick bro talk. We gotta take this bitch down. Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now.
Sure, why not?
Good lord, lady. Our new detective said we get a salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that.
I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that common practice?
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you try to do that to me earlier too? I suppose I did.
It's only natural to cut the worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone new or old with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's pay.
Detective Badd, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier.
Oh,
Oh, good lord. How's that for the perfect explanation?
Hold it!
When you put on lipstick, you gotta put it just exactly the right way. Make a little duck face. You call your explanation perfect.
It's not to your liking?
Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards.
Oh? Is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I mean, I might as well at this point.
Yeah.
Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me.
Okay. Big and save. Yeah, I want to say the relation.
Actually, let me ask the detective directly. What was your relation to Mr. Faraday? Mr. Faraday was in charge of training rookie detectives to testify in trials. I met him on the very first day I entered the criminal affairs department, pal. Oh, I had no idea Mr. Faraday was so involved.
Faraday. He may look like an easygoing guy, but he's actually a bit of a nut for strict discipline and manners. Guys like Gumshoe tended to rub him the wrong way. There. Now you know how the detective and Mr. Faraday were related. Happy now?
No, wait.
You said you only had one thing to ask, right?
Fuck you. I have time-traveling powers, whore.
Zamard!
Alright, I guess this. Son of... I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell?
His motive for killing Rel? Like I would know.
If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred, wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
What? But that's impossible. She must know something. Well, you do know something.
Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh.
I didn't even do anything and you were already laughing away. Last case made some woman horny by looking at her. This case is making women laugh by looking at them. Can't win.
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the same way it did. Would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh, would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight. There is a request for being bug karma. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you shut this rude woman up. That skank bitch.
I know, right? Total bitch. We should both be quiet for just 1 second.
Oh well. I guess I'll just explain it to you kids. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two of them men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like he had killed each other.
I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? Yes, there is. There is. I know who it 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 is. I know who would have a grudge. I know the answer. I'm gonna press everything to make sure everything's in a row first.
Hold it!
So there is no one else who might have a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell.
I suppose no one. It's a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today.
she's lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier. Yeah, no. That was on the same fucking page.
Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men.
Someone with a grudge against one of the men. In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit the bill?
Sure. After all, who doesn't garner scorn for another simply by being alive?
Jesus.
But the only one who held a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Furthermore,
Mr. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder.
Hold it.
So you're saying that he was basically silenced?
aren't you glad you managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you had been the one to witness the blood cover, Detective.
What? Detective Gumshoe, you would kill even me! What? I could never do something as terrible as that, Your Honor. There's no need for even a second of deliberation. I will hand down my verdict.
Your Honor, take a look around. We're not in court right now. I mean, technically, we're not in a courtroom. We're in the courthouse. Shut up! It would be greatly appreciated if you would stay here with us in reality.
Oh, please forgive me. I acknowledge I know not what I do.
And you there, monsieur, hurry up and continue your testimony. If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape. Ha ha ha. That's nice. Sounds kind of like fun, actually. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe had to erase the witness, Mr. L.
Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like Edgeworth.
Hold it.
I didn't do it, pal.
No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously.
But I can't even begin to think of ways to set up a crime scene.
I suppose you do lack the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing.
I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, hold on. I should not click off the real DS.
Yeah, probably not. Our real DS is a little finicky.
Every time I open Discord, it has a fit. Why do you have to kick a man when he's down, pal?
You shouldn't put yourself down, Detective.
Oh my god, I just realized the title of the stream.
Oh, you didn't notice?
I didn't notice until now. Investigating why she took the kid.
You're a big boy. I bet you thought all by yourself, right?
Yeah, that's why I worked real hard at it, too. I think this proves one thing about the detective. He has the mental acuity of a worm.
A worm.
The worm.
Worm.
I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However,
Worm full of seed.
look in the testimony. Okay, alright. I think it's the first one because...
Objection.
This skank bitch! Fuck you! Monsieur, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring up this person?
What do you mean?
There was someone here earlier. You know, you talked to them. We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. And a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Rell, and the man who was the lead prosecutor in the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men?
Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it! You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out.
You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time.
And why is that?
Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial. Or so I was told.
Murder happened while the trial was at a recess. That doesn't matter.
Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so.
No way, come on, Detective Badd. You gotta believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir.
Okay, then are you saying there's someone else who passed through the hallway?
No, there was no one else, sir.
Then why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of the crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit, it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of a lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at least offer up eyes spaced out while on the duty, or like...
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
Are we gonna have Child K as our partner? Little 9-year-old K running around just like, I think this is how he died. I miss my dad already. Same.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone?